Hello, it's Bob Gray Sr. Welcome to Ministry Moments. Every Friday, Lord willing, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Now, I'm in the beautiful free state of Florida. Sean Hannity and I have moved here. So every Friday, 4 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll come to you with Ministry Moments. And today, I want to talk to you about time management. Time management. The amount of time that you have is equal to what everybody else has. Nobody has any more, nobody has any less. The President of the United States, he sleeps half the time, doesn't have any more time you do. And Donald Trump doesn't have any more time than you do. Brother Hiles did not have any more time than you do when he was alive. We all have the same 168 hours a week. Now, what we do with it really makes a difference in accomplishing things for God. And so I want to help you. Okay. So let me give you some things that I think might help you. Number one, put your life on paper. Put your life on paper. Every fall, I would ask the faculty and the pastoral staff of Longview Baptist Temple to give me, put their life on paper, 168 squares. And I wanted to make sure, because starting with school, I didn't want them to neglect their families and neglect their walk with God. So I tried to help as best I could. I wasn't demanding of what they do, but I expect them to do their duties of being paid for it. They should. But I wanted to make sure that their time was balanced. I did the same thing with myself. Then when summer came, I would ask them again to fill out another one and put their life on paper for their sake. And if I saw maybe some young staff member who's going gung ho and neglecting his wife or child, I wanted to know about it. I pastor them just like I did the members. So put your life on paper. Talking about time management, talking about making the most of the time that you and I have. Number two, schedule the 168 hours. So you can put your life on paper, schedule 168 hours. Now, you may want to leave, if you're like doing counseling and things like that, you may want to leave some space in between, because things are going to happen. And if you mess up on a day in your schedule, just bounce right back the next day. It's going to happen. There are things that you didn't prepare on happening. Emergencies are going to happen. So kind of leave yourself a little cushion in there. Number three, take time or you'll waste time. Take time or you'll waste time. So give every event due. And you'll do that, it will really help you to get the most out of what you're doing. So don't just take time. Don't waste time. Don't keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. No, you go ahead and take the time to deal with what you got to deal with. I had meetings every week with department heads, and then I had other meetings that I had that kept me in touch with what was going on. I had a file for every department, and I kept notes and so on. So number one, put your life on paper. Number two, schedule now all 168 hours and leave space in there in case there is an emergency. Number three, take time or you'll waste time. You've got to give it time. All right. Number four, text. Oh, what a great day we live in. You can, a lot of time wasters coming after us, trying to get a piece of us. But learn how to text and use that text to keep up with your people. If somebody's missing, text them, look, I missed you, and so on. It beats being on the phone for a half hour or so on. So utilize text. Number five, email. Take advantage of the email of staff and people that members of your church who are in leadership. Use the email. Use the email. So I'm talking about time management now. You have the same amount of time I have, same amount of time everybody else has, but some people accomplish more than others do. And we need to learn how to get the most out so we can produce more. We ought to be producers. I'm not a kingdom builder. I'm a people builder. I want to reach people with the gospel and then help them become the very best that they can be as a husband, as a wife, as a son or a daughter or a church member or leader, whatever. So put your life on paper. Schedule 168 hours. Schedule it all. Leave space in there now in case of an emergency. Take time or you'll waste time. If there's something you've got to take care of, take time to take care of it and put it in your schedule. Text. Learn how to text. Email. Use emails a lot. Number 6, have a folder or file on meetings. Have a folder or file on meetings. When I would start Thursday morning, I would fly out Monday and Tuesday, and I would have staff appointments on Tuesday night after preaching and Monday night after preaching to talk to different staff people about different things, just to keep in touch with what's going on. And then if there are emergency calls, I would take care of that. Brother Hiles, if I had an emergency come up, I was preaching somewhere, he was preaching somewhere, he would always at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, Mrs. McKinney would get us together. And that was but he scheduled that. He scheduled that. And I did the same thing, learned how to do it from him. So, and by the way, you guys would get mad at me because I invoke my pastor. He was my pastor. What do you expect me to do? Oh, every other word's Hiles. Do you know how stupid that is? Hello, Hiles. Hi, Hiles. Are Hiles. You, Hiles. Today, Hiles. Idiots. Idiots are roaming the globe, aren't they? Put your life on paper. Schedule 168 hours. Take time. Well, you waste time. Things come up. Take time for it. Put it in your schedule. Text. Learn how to text. Learn how to email. I've had to learn all of this. It wasn't in my day. It wasn't there. Our ledgers were penciled in, penned in. They were not debits and credits, but we wrote them in. It wasn't like today with the QuickBooks and all of the stuff and that's all good. I'm not opposed to it. Then have files or folders for meetings so that you can go back and look and see what did we discuss. I would always, and I want my staff to bring me 5 solutions for every problem. Then I would at the end say, now what do I owe you? And I would literally write down what I promised to do for them in their ministry. And then I would write down, what do you owe me? So I would review that. So the next time I met with them, I would see what I owed them. I wanted to make sure I did my part. You know, loyalty goes both ways. You want them to be loyal to you, you got to be loyal to them. You want them to help you, well, I suggest you help them. So I had folders and files. Number 7, learn to delegate. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You delegate. Delegation is so important. It helps the person you delegate to mature and to grow and to carry more weight and be more responsible. And so you got to learn to delegate. So I said, number 1, put your life on paper. Number 2, schedule 168 hours and leave a cushion in there now in case of emergency. Number 3, and if you blow it, I just blew this day. Well, then just wake up and start all over again. Number 3, take time or you'll waste time. You've got to give these things that are important to you slot it into a time to where you can deal with it. Text. Number 5, email. Number 6, have files or folders for each meeting. Again, you come with me for a problem. I got enough problems. I don't need you to bring a problem to me. I want 5 solutions to it. And then at the end of the meeting, what do I owe you? What do you owe me? And I'd write it down. Learn to delegate. Number 8, inspect what you expect. Don't just give them a job and then say, well, that's it. I gave them a job. They'll get it done. No, they won't. You've got to follow up. Sometimes they forget. Sometimes they get busy. I would try to, I'd drive some of our ladies crazy because I'd asked 2 or 3 people to do the same thing. And I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But inspect what you expect. Number 9, carry blank 3x5 cards in your pocket. I have a stack here. I keep it there. And when something, I write it down. I'll forget. Now, Brother Hiles was brilliant. Here we go again. Every other word's Hiles. He was brilliant, had a great mind. And he would say, put your pins up and so on. Use that brain up here. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not as smart as he was. And I have to write things down. I want to write things down so that I can remember. So carry blank 3x5 cards. Number 10, assign cards to the proper meeting or folder. And just simply at the top, when somebody asks you, something enters your mind, somebody asks you a question, write it down and you want this in the superintendent's folder of the schools. You want this in the bus ministry folder. You want this in the Sunday school folder. You want this in the music folder. Where do you want it? So I put it in those folders so that it's there to look at. This 3x5 card to look at. Okay. Number 11, do not answer questions in the hallway. Don't do it. People stop me and person at the preacher, what about? Preacher, what about? Preacher, what about? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. My wife used to say, God bless her. I miss my wife. God bless her. She would say, don't say yes to a kid. You just to get them out of your hair. Don't do that. And boy, she was right about that. Do not answer in the hallways. Number 12. This is the last point. Aren't you proud of me? Have a daily to-do list. Have a daily to-do list. Make sure that you have a daily to-do list. And whatever you don't finish that day, put it at the top of for the next day. But to keep it there and take the challenge and go after it. So we're talking about time management now. Nobody has any more time than anybody else. We time is valuable. You've got to take advantage of it. So put your life on paper, schedule 168 hours, schedule it, and take time where you waste time, text, email, have a folder or file for meetings, learn to delegate, inspect what you expect, carry blank 3x5 cards, take notes on them, assign cards to the proper meeting, do not answer in the hallway, and have a daily to-do list. God bless you. Hope this helped you. Hey, be with us every Friday, would you, at 4:00? And please, soul winning tomorrow. Let's win somebody to Christ. Keep somebody from going to hell. God bless you. Have a great weekend.